Okay, thank you very much. And now, on the topic, Oh Dear, A New Frontier, I'd like to call upon Michal Stezala from Poland.
Would-be British Prime Minister Mr. Jeremy Clarkson of famous BBC series Top Gear announcing his programme that no hybrid or diesel cars would be allowed in the UK and the minimal speed on motorways would be 100 miles per hour. A joke? Perhaps, but don't you think that this famous petrol head simply cries for not killing one of the last areas of our personal freedom? Driving. Oh yeah, I know what you're going to respond. In modern society, in Europe, and so on and so on. But unlike Jeremy Clarkson, many people see only borders of life, and they are not conscious of any life horizons. They live in their own happy world, and they are unable to even imagine any other option. Only few still really want to reach out and touch the horizon. And you may ask, why should they? Then you must remember why a famous English mountaineer, George Mallory, wanted to climb Mount Everest. Because it is there. That answer ultimately cost him his life, but Mallory's bravery and legend have crossed many frontiers and are still alive. We are free by nature, thus we should not be limited. But we are, in a very nonchalant way, by those who should be clever, responsible, and able to foresee. Who are they? Many of you may say that politicians create rather friendly guidelines than laws, but the practice shows that they are very quickly turning into solid barriers. As it happened in my country, in Poland, while we were adopting EU Commission directives. What was to be a helpful standard became a law, giving us only a little leeway. Let me give you an example. Last month I test drove a car, and I asked the salesperson, why should I pay so much money for such a small engine? He said it was because of carbon dioxide limits, which would save the Mother Nature. So isn't it fantastic, I thought. I'm kind of trendy, I'm saving my planet. Well, as it turned out, the answer is not necessarily that simple. I am proud that my family is very conscious of the environmental issues. So the other day, I asked my dad, who is a teacher of biology, by the way, about buying an eco-friendly car powered with ethanol, as hybrids are still much too expensive. No way, was his answer. They are disastrous to both engine and environment. And it's against freedom. This April brought me the answer why. German government, after protests of the car manufacturers, claimed that they would not increase obligatory addition of ethanol to petrol as it destroys engines. Then the American Time magazine, in the article The Clean Energy Scam, says that ethanol increases global warming, destroys forests, and inflates food prices. So what good does this eco-fuel do? Nevertheless, in the EU, biofuel cars are promoted as clean and emitting less CO2. Therefore, my parliament passes bills which limit us as drivers and reduce our possibility of choice. Yes, we must use biofuels, even if it can destroy our engines or increase pollution. What's more, we are obliged to use lights on a whole year, even if it rises death rate on roads. Installing new speed cameras seems to bring very similar effect. And these are only recent facts, ladies and gentlemen. But personally, must I love boring vehicles just because they are promoted by some eco-lobby? Where is my freedom of choice gone? People say, it's all meant to protect you. But my leeway is reduced to the end of my nose. We are limited by regulations written by people who've already forgotten about dreams of the youth. They are trying to set their own horizons for us, and they even mark borders we are not allowed to pass. And I don't really feel like being a character of George Orwell's book 1984. And do you really want to be just another mundane product of the system, only consuming served pace of life? I'm yearning for more. I'm crying for different. I'm full of teenage enthusiasm, and I don't want it to be wasted. Because when I am out to do something, I'm prepared and determined to do it, whatever the cost may be. The more desirable and distant my goal is, the more I'm willing to sacrifice just to reach it. And even though I don't have a complete idea for my future, I'm really anxious about people at my age facing all the artificial frontiers which slow them down. However, I hope that just behind them, we will find a deep and endless ocean of opportunities. And I hope that one day I'll be able to visit Clarkson's Great Britain, a land of people of unhindered horizons. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the speaker and ask for any questions from the audience. Yes, ma'am.
How much balance do you think that it is necessary between the rights of those of us who drive fast sports cars and the environment?
First of all, I think that people should be free to choose. Freedom is the biggest value for me, because it's not that some cars are good for the environment and the others are bad. It's always like Toyota Prius. To produce Toyota Prius, the parts of this car have to travel all around the world. So the emission of CO2 is really high just before the car is produced. So it's good to give people freedom, to let them decide, not to make them pay more for somebody else's ambition.
So,
Don't you believe that Clarkson's ideas actually are imposing new rules? They're not giving freedom. He just says, okay, you have to ride faster than 100 miles per hour. Otherwise, you'll be shot dead probably if we follow his way of thinking.
Well, actually, I think it was a joke. It was kind of exaggeration to show the problem. You know, I think that Clark's idea is to let people drive as fast as they want. Like here in London, I've read there's a street, High London Street or something like that, and there were many accidents every year. So the government decided to conduct an experiment and to remove any restrictions. And the first time in the history, the number of accidents was beginning to get lower, actually. So freedom is good. When people are free, they act more responsibly. It is proven.
okay, final question.
Good morning. About the European Union, I want your personal opinion. Do you think that the European Union as an organization, I don't know, makes the countries lose their identity, the right to have their own decisions, or something like that? Tell me, what do you think about it?
Yeah, European Union is very good as far as traveling is concerned. Like we can travel here to London. England is not in Schengen zone, but anyway, it was very easy for me to get here. But from the January of 2009, European Union is becoming a country actually after the Treaty of Lisbon, a country. So the other countries, the 27 countries now, are not independent anymore. So we won't be able to make our own decisions. It will be like a central decision. We just have to follow it. So no freedom at all.
Okay, thank you very much.